Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin along with the man who has had to stick with me all season long, Charles Davis. And Charles, the anticipation, the hype, the media coverage, all in the rearview mirror now. We can finally get down to playing some football.
Yeah, don't worry about that part. I'll ride or die with you anytime. You know that. But here's the best thing about this. Everyone talks about trying to keep things normal as they approach for Super Bowl. There is no such thing as normal. The pageantry, the hype, all of that is more intense than anyone could ever imagine. What you're trying to do is embrace it in one way and make sure it doesn't totally knock you off your game. That's why the night before the big one, teams often switch hotels, try and give those guys that last chance to breathe a little bit before they go out and play.
The first Super Bowl of a new decade, Super Bowl 54, is underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Dak Prescott leading the Dallas Cowboys into the Super Bowl. And Craig Morton, Roger Staubach, Troy Aikman, and now Dak Prescott, the four Cowboy quarterbacks to start a Super Bowl. The other three, all Super Bowl champs. Now the question, can Dak Prescott follow in their footsteps? Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. And the offensive starters for Dallas.
I can't help but chuckle a little bit every time I think about Zach Martin and the controversy, air quotes there, about him being picked by the Cowboys because many thought that another player was going to be picked in that spot. But they made the right call in getting Zach Martin. Versatile player, played guard and tackle in college, and uses that versatility to his great advantage in the NFL. Immediately was an all-pro and continues to play to that level.
Time quickly to look at the Chargers defense.
It's real easy to talk about Thomas Davis coming back from multiple knee injuries, but he wants his play on the field to be the story.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. He gets it over the middle to Cobb. And it's not going to be enough here. A gain of 4, about 2 feet short of the marker, 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. Travis Benjamin deep for the Chargers. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The Charger offense heading out, and so good to see Phillip Rivers in his 16th NFL season about to take his first snap in a Super Bowl. His Chargers seem to be on the verge of something back. About a decade ago, had LaDainian Tomlinson leading the way. They could never get over the hump. A series of tough playoff losses over the years. But here he is, trying for the capper to his Hall of Fame career. Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. And we get a quick look at the Chargers starting offense.
I don't think it's hyperbole to say that Mike Pouncey is one of the best centers in the league. And to me, he helped usher in that new wave of centers. Agile, able to get to the second level and block people downfield, able to pull like a guard and get out in front of ball carrier.
And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. DeMarcus Lawrence. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So it's 3rd and long for the Chargers and Rivers after the sack. Working out of the gun, Rivers. It's complete right side to Benjamin. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football, got to him, and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And now back out comes the offense. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
But you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
From the 27, Prescott, pass incomplete. Desmond King there on the coverage. And that's twice now already in this first quarter that he's been able to knock a ball away.
You're going to need that from him and plenty more if they want to slow down this passing game. Thus far, though, he's been a ball magnet.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
A quick first down pickup. Good start after going 3 and out on their opening drive.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. This guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
So a much rosier picture now after that last play. Here's 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. Running on first down, Eckler fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. And a look at the defense for the Cowboys.
Sean Lee's one of my favorite players, and I don't mind saying it because I love his versatility. I can move him inside at the linebacker position. I can move him outside. I can rush him off the edge, rush him up the middle. He can drop into pass coverage. In fact, his versatility was on display even in his high school days, where he was a big-time high school basketball player that had a chance to play in college as well.
On 2nd and 9, Rivers. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And this one caught along the sideline, but they say already out of bounds. Now the throw didn't give him a chance to turn it upfield, and that brings up 2nd down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
The kick by Marr is good. And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Phillip Rivers now gears up to take the offense back out there. He'll look to shake off the interception on the opening drive. He should at least be comforted that it resulted in 3, not 6.
And if I were him, I would be the guy all the way out on the field greeting my defense now, saying thanks a lot. You held them to a field goal after I turned it over. That's a big defensive stand for them. He needs to go out now and make up for what he did on the first drive.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window. Things easier for a defense.
Mike 54. Here we go, D. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Rivers hands off to Eckler. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Here's the first carry for Northwestern's Justin Jackson. He'll be taken down well behind the line, and I think he might have just given those 4 yards right back.
Don't forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
Rivers. Allen's got it over the middle. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. His 2nd catch of the Super Bowl, and it's good enough for a first down.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
Well, the drag, that can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for them, too.
Rivers on first down. And right side, Henry's got it. 10 more there and another first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw it, and was able to make the sure catch and put the down marker back to 1.
He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Back now to begin the second quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Chargers here with a football as they've got it 2nd and 7. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Rivers, this will be caught just inside the 10. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks, but doesn't matter what you call the position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
Just a yard, but that's all they needed, and by the slimmest of margins, it'll be 1st and goal.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal. Throwing Rivers.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here, not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Badgley's kick is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. Well, that will go.
Black 15.
2 minutes even on the clock in the first half of Super Bowl 54. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that, Burko?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield, then he curls back inside for the completion. That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Now that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Now Charger kicker Mike Badgley on 4th down, coming out to try the field goal. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And you have to figure they won't just sit on the football here in the final minute. The way things have gone, they need to try to make something happen offensively.
But maybe they should. Maybe they should sit on it here because of what you just said. They haven't made anything happen offensively. Getting ready to go into the half, give them a chance to take a deep breath, exhale a little bit, and start over. I don't know if this is the time to push it myself.
Yeah, right now under 100 yards of total offense. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. On 1st and 10, Prescott going right side. He has Witten. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Give him 3 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play. If you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Out now comes the Cowboys punter. He's been terrific so far. Oh, nice spin.
Oh, that brought back bad memories.
A big kick that time, 52 yards. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Rivers. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Easy. Hey,
From the shotgun, it's Rivers. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down. Rivers incomplete on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Rivers. Completes it to Benjamin. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. So we've reached halftime here in the 2020 Super Bowl, Super Bowl 54. As we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. What a season this has been. Hard to believe it ends tonight, as we'll get back to you guys for the second half of this Super Bowl in just a moment. It's been a tremendous season from beginning to end, and now we'll play one half of football to decide who raises the Lombardi Trophy. And for the call, let's get it right back to Brandon and Charles.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. The never tedious halftime show behind us, and now it's back to football as we get going again in Super Bowl 54. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. And the Chargers coming out on the field now. They've got the lead, and certainly a big reason why some of these catches we take a look at right now.
And I've seen it so many times that when units start to play really well, they feed off of each other and play even better. And they're making every catch possible. Contested, non-contested, easy, difficult, big-time plays. And right now, that's why their team's in the lead.
So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 at the 20. Off the play fake here, Rivers. Caught on the left side by Benjamin. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. And he'll be taken down deep into Charger territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 43 yards.
They're still looking for their first touchdown of the game, and for a second, I thought they had it right there.
Looking on the sideline, it's finally good to see nods of approval. It's a welcome sign of life that this offense needed. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good for a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They'll try to run it in with Elliott, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. With the first touchdown of this Super Bowl, and the Cowboys have retaken the lead. And there you go, nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Extra point by Moore, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means...
And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. DeMarcus Lawrence, credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
How about that, partner? His 2nd sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of...
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. A big play there for L.A. And even 40 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. The big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters.
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. DeMarcus Lawrence, credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
And that's his 3rd sack, and that ties a Super Bowl record. Makes me think of my old college teammate, Reggie White. He had 3 with the Green Bay Packers in Super Bowl 31. Darnell Dockett of Arizona, Super Bowl 43. And Coney Ealy, 3 sacks for the Panthers against Denver in Super Bowl 50.
All those sacks, they've only been an official record since Super Bowl 17. I know it's believed that L.C. Greenwood unofficially had 4 way back in Super Bowl 10.
Wearing those golden high tops as well.
That's to his running back, complete. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. The conversion is successful with a sizable gain of 13, and the decision to go for it looks like a smart one. They go play action here on first down. This will be caught inside the 10. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A very solid gain of 27. A nice little completion there by Phillip Rivers. And you and I were reading the article yesterday, 5th grade. Rivers had to do a project where he had to make a poster about his dreams and aspirations. So he clipped out a football player from a magazine article and pasted his face on the helmet. That's what he wanted to be, and it turned out okay.
Not so bad. Not so bad at all. Remember, he's the son of a coach. And on that play, I think he made the old coach proud with that completion.
And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays that give themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out.
So now we're in the final minute of the game in the 4th quarter as this offense gets ready to take over. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. Now Rivers. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Face mask. Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Rivers to throw it. Caught left side, Williams. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very...
And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line.
And that's a Super Bowl record, his 4th sack of the game. I think we got to start thinking seriously about making him the Super Bowl MVP as well.
I think you're right. With him leading in the driver's seat, he certainly has a shot. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't...
And how about this, a fake? And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. And Dallas, they'll take... So the football will be at the 25-yard line as this offense gets set to take over. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. To throw is Rivers. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down. I guess they're in a situation now, fourth quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted. And if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. Pretty lucky to get the football back. Had his target out there waving the arms, saying I'm open, but maybe didn't see him quick enough.
And I know the jokes are always about defensive backs' hands. What really actually happens, you don't get many opportunities. You get over anxious, and you start to think about taking it away and going the other way instead of focusing and catching the ball.
And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. DeMarcus Lawrence, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really, really turning in an incredible performance. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. He was looking for Travis Benjamin that time, and it's third down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. Now on third down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. The Chargers go here. It's Rivers. He'll rifle this one deep right side. That's caught inside the 20. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they can. That is caught. It's Benjamin for the Charger touchdown. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Chargers, they're able to cut into that deficit. The touchdown all set up. Late stages of the game here in the fourth quarter as this offense takes over first and 10.
Hey, Delta!
On first and 10, Rivers. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
We are in the fourth and final quarter as the offense will have the football starting this drive first and 10. And now it's first and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 14 yards is the pickup there and a Charger first down. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. First down, and he gets out of bounds.
They have to like the play call because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and incompletions to use the clock.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that.
And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Mike Williams, 38 yards. And the Chargers are within a 2-point conversion. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Fourth down now after a loss of 2.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Rivers gets set to lead this offense. Down by 2. Exactly 1 minute remaining. A field goal wins the Super Bowl, but work to do here on first and 10. On the screen, this is Eckler. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. Man open left side, it's Williams. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That's good for 28 yards. They'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. He was looking for Mike Williams that time. That'll bring up second down. Rivers incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Williams. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. And the Dallas Cowboys will hoist the Lombardi Trophy. They are the kings of the NFL. And to the Super Bowl champions, they etch their name forever in NFL immortality.
That's pretty phenomenal right there. It actually gave me chills just to hear you say that, because immortality forever and ever. When you look in the record books, you'll see this team, you'll see their picture, that your name will be a part of it. That's got to be an incredible feeling, because it's been a long journey to get there, and now they get a chance to enjoy it.
And they are the Super Bowl champs. The Lombardi Trophy is theirs, and so are bragging rights for an entire season. What a season it has been. Feels like we have been there every step of the way. Our entire crew doing a wonderful job. Thanks to my broadcast partner, Charles Davis. For all those guys, I'm Brandon Gaudin signing off. We'll talk to you next season right here on EA Sports.